In an age where social media reigns supreme, public figures tread carefully on the fine line between humor and insult. Recently, Aimee Wood, star of HBO's The White Lotus, stirred the pot by calling out Meghan Markle for what she described as a mocking portrayal of her appearance and accent on Instagram. This incident raises questions not just about Markle's character, but also about her role as a supposed advocate for inclusivity and kindness. Is this a case of a royal misstep, or does it reveal deeper flaws in the Duchess of Sussex's persona? When Markle first stepped into the public eye, she was heralded as a breath of fresh air, a modern woman breaking royal traditions. However, her actions over the years have often contradicted this image. The incident with Wood is just the latest in a series of controversies that paint Markle as someone who uses her platform to belittle others while claiming to champion change. The irony is palpable. A woman who promotes acceptance seems to have a penchant for mockery. This duality raises important questions about her integrity and intentions. Critics argue that Markle's behavior is symptomatic of a deeper issue, an inability to empathize with the very people she claims to support. In a recent Instagram post, the actress was visibly upset over Markle's comments, which many interpreted as an insensitive jab at her accent and appearance. Instead of fostering a sense of community, Markle's words seem to perpetuate the very stereotypes she often critiques. This incident has ignited discussions about whether Markle truly stands for the causes she promotes or if she merely uses them as a shield against criticism. Moreover, Markle's history of controversial comments does little to bolster her reputation. From her interviews where she discusses her struggles with royal life to her seemingly casual dismissal of others' challenges, there is a pattern of behavior that suggests a lack of self-awareness. The very essence of her brand, empowerment and advocacy, becomes diluted when juxtaposed with her actions. Each time she engages in what can be perceived as mockery, it undermines her credibility and alienates potential allies. The backlash from Wood is not an isolated incident. It follows a trend of public figures calling out Markle for her perceived hypocrisy. Whether it's her lavish lifestyle juxtaposed with her advocacy for social justice or her tendency to highlight her own struggles while dismissing the struggles of others, critics are quick to point out the inconsistencies. This pattern is particularly troubling for someone in a position of influence. It raises the question, can Markle be taken seriously as a voice for change if her actions contradict her words? Many fans of Markle argue that she is simply misunderstood and that her intentions are noble. However, the reality is that public perception is shaped not only by what one says but also by what one does. Markle's ability to connect with her audience is jeopardized by these controversies. Each misstep creates a chasm between her and the very people she aims to inspire. If she truly wishes to be a role model, she must first demonstrate the qualities she professes to value: empathy, respect, and authenticity. Furthermore, this incident also highlights a troubling trend in celebrity culture where humor is often weaponized. The line between playful banter and outright mockery is thin, and Markle's comments could easily be interpreted as crossing that line. In a world increasingly aware of the impact of words, her choice to engage in such behavior is perplexing, especially when she has publicly expressed a desire to uplift others. This contradiction not only undermines her credibility, but also raises essential questions about her intentions. As the public continues to grapple with Markle's actions, the implications stretch beyond her personal brand. They illuminate a broader conversation about accountability in the public eye. Celebrities wield significant influence, and with that comes a responsibility to be mindful of their words and actions. Markle's disregard for this responsibility, particularly in her interactions with fellow women in the industry, sends a troubling message that it is acceptable to tear others down in the name of humor or self-promotion. The fallout from Aimee Wood's criticism of Meghan Markle underscores a critical turning point in how we perceive public figures. Markle's actions reveal a troubling lack of self-awareness that undercuts her advocacy efforts. As she navigates the complexities of fame and influence, she must confront the consequences of her words, especially when they contradict her proclaimed values. If Markle truly wishes to be seen as a leader in the fight for social justice and empowerment, she must first learn to uplift rather than mock. The world is watching, and her next steps will determine whether she can reclaim her narrative or become a cautionary tale of celebrity hubris.